Hey, what's going on guys, welcome back to another monster video. So in today's video I'm going to review the monster Galvanus. This monster is available right now in Bounty Hunt. You can obtain it free to play. All you have to do is basically move through the leagues, obtain the cells, or you can actually purchase the cells as well with the bounty coins. But today I'm going to be reviewing a level 130 rank 3, and I'm going to let you guys know why I think this monster will be meta. So I hope you guys are excited for today's video. If you are, smash the like button, subscribe to the notification on. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started. So ladies and gentlemen, as you guys can see, we have a level 132, basically a rank 3 Galvanus here, and we have all the traits unlocked. Actually, the 2 status casters we haven't unlocked yet, but we have the 3 traits. Okay, I feel like those are really important besides the 2 status casters. This right here I do like. It's all allies that gains the cooldown immunity. The status caster possession immunity, this is just for himself, but this cooldown immunity is actually pretty good, I've got to say. I just wish that the cooldown immunity was actually a trait instead of hardened, and hardened could have been like a status caster, although I don't think we've ever seen a hardened status caster before in the game. But anyways, starting off, you have anticipation, which is a really good trait to have. Basically, when the enemy performs an extra turn, you gain the extra turn like right after that, or before that monster actually gets the turn, if that makes sense. So if they perform an extra turn, you get the turn, and then they get the turn. But then rank 1 you have hardened, which is quite alright. Rank 3 true vision, this is really good. Precision doubled, so basically you'll never miss your shot. You know what I mean? Rank 4 you have status caster possession immunity, comes in handy in some cases, but then rank 5 you have this cooldown immunity, so it's pretty good against, for example, monsters like the Ruby, you know, Zyron's Ruby, things like that basically. Or I think his name is Zyron's Emerald, not Ruby, but basically the mythic version of Ruby. You guys know what I'm talking about. But let's take a look at this monster's stats. So you have about 11,558 speed at level 132. With that much speed, we can already tell that this monster is the fastest monster in the game. The fastest, yes. 261,467 life, okay. And 17,054, we don't have to worry about the power since this monster is not really an attacker. But let's go ahead and take a look at the skills. So let's take a look at the ultimate. The Chandelier Master removes positive status effects from all enemies, applies positive effect, block, electrified, and megastun. This is a really good ultimate, I've gotta say. And then let's take a look at the skills. Trick of the Light removes positive status effect from one enemy and then from all enemies right after, and then positive effect block to all enemies. Wow. Then you also have this other skill called Volt Overcharge, which applies electrify to one enemy, deals moderate ton of damage to all enemies, applies electrify to all enemies. This is actually not that bad. So it deals 15% ton of damage and blocks all the area dodge effects. So that's actually really good. Definitely keep that. We also have Enlightenment, which gives anticipation and then removes all negative side effects from all allies. So I think the anticipation is just to himself, but we can actually test it in battle to see if that anticipation is to everybody or not. But I think it's only for himself. In case if he gets trait disabled, you can definitely go ahead and reapply that. But let's see what else we have. Righteous Blaze removes positive side effects from one enemy and then removes all negative side effects from all allies. This right here, I do like, I've got to say. This is really good. I know it may not sound like it's a lot, but that can actually come in handy. Photosensitivity removes 30% of total life from all enemies, applies major damage reduction and blind to all enemies. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, you have a 90% life removal basically if it goes towards a megataunt. So you can definitely keep that, I'd say, but this alignment skill isn't really that bad. But the thing is, honestly, even if this is for all allies, let me tell you something. You know there's Anticipation Cloak, right? You can always give Anticipation Cloak to one of your allies besides him, because you always gain the Anticipation trait right away, rank 1 trait I think it is, or rank 0 trait. So I'd honestly just go with Righteous Blaze because it comes with PER and also NER to all allies. So definitely go with Righteous Blaze, I'd say, in my opinion. We also have this magic skill, which is a 30% total life from one enemy, applies a major damage reduction and blind to one enemy. When I said magic, I meant the name of the skill, not that it's a magic element skill, although it doesn't really matter as much. But you already have a 30% life removal here, so it's really up to you whether you want to go with the single target or the AoE one. I'd rather go with the AoE one, honestly. You also have Light of Wisdom, which gives anticipation to one ally, removes all negative side effects from one ally. This right here actually isn't a bad idea. If you want to run this, for example, you can give that anticipation to whoever you want in the first turn. Second turn, you can run, for example, Rarus and trigger the anticipation by giving the extra turn to the enemy, because that monster does have an extra turn to the enemy skill, remember, which triggers the anticipation. So it's not a bad idea, but only good with Rarus. And then Black Feather is kind of outdated, so I wouldn't really recommend running Black Feather in your team. Then there's also Justice Flare, which removes positive side effects for one enemy, removes 20% of total life from all enemies. This isn't really that bad either, because you have a 20% life removal from everybody once again. There's a 30% one right here. You can actually run this monster as an attacker as well, now that I think about it, because you have more than one skill that actually removes life by percentage. It's kind of like Rucha, Colonel Pip, for example, back in the Corrupted era. Monsters like those, you know what I mean, that you can run full speed and then run a bunch of these life by percentage removal skills, so you can basically eliminate them by using that. And since this is the fastest monster, it's not a bad idea running this monster as an attacker. So if you guys would like to see a part 2 where I review Galvanus as an attacker with full speed, make sure to drop a like and let me know in the comments. But anyways, we also have a Voltage Leak, which is a moderate 200 damage to one enemy, applies Electrify to one enemy. It's a spammable skill as long as you have the 20% or 20 stamina. But besides all that, now that I see these other skills, honestly, I'm not really a huge fan of them. Maybe the life by percentage, you can probably carry that if you're going to run this monster as an attacker, because it's a spammable skill, as you guys could see. But in my personal opinion, I think these right here, these 4 are his best skills to run. But again, if you want to run it with Raris, running one of these anticipation skills isn't really a bad idea. For example, Light of Wisdom, you know what I mean? But anyways, so now that we have this monster to basically level 132, which it already was, but we went ahead and given the best skills, let's take a look at the relics. You have Staff as one of them, which is actually really good. So there's a bunch of options. I honestly really like Master Staff, so I'm gonna go with this Master Staff here. And then for SN, you can give Flamar's SN if you have it. You can also do, for example, let me see, URL SN. One of those two really works out. Plant Emanation is also there, but I think I'm gonna go with that Flamar's SN. And last but not least, talents. Talents, really important. So here's the thing, you can do Demonic Pact, for example, okay? Because here's the thing, Demonic Pact isn't really a bad idea now that I think about it, only if it works how I think it'll work out. Because look, you're going to PER from the enemy, right? You're going to remove their positive side effects as long as you don't run up against a Megataunt trait Megataunt monster, you know what I mean? Like Pangoliath or Santerion. If it's not nothing like that, you can PER them, apply the positive block, and then they will be forced to NER, but they're going to have to do it twice because they have that positive effect block. But I'm not sure if it's really going to work out like that. So if it does, that can be OP. But if you want to do, for example, 7 Sins, that's also there. Ancient Cloak isn't a bad idea if you want to run that. There's a few others like Holy Fist and a few others. But I think Purgatory Throne isn't really that bad either. You know, if you ever need this, we could run that, sure. So in terms of runes, here's what I recommend giving, guys. Triple speed literally works for this monster, so you want to make this monster as fast as possible, even though it is already the fastest monster in the game. But triple speed works for most situation, or you can do, for example, 2 speed and 1 team speed as well. Alright, so for this one, we got a 2 dodge area monsters with Megataunt, which will kind of suck for me because, once again, most of this monster's skills won't really work out well against, for example, Megataunt trait, that's for sure, and also dodge areas. So I can get rid of the PER at least. So for example, that evasion, I can always get rid of that with this skill. So I can just go ahead and PER that and get rid of all the tortures that was on my other monsters. Anticipation just kicked in, but sadly with the anticipation we can't really do much. But take a look at this. Okay, so look, Photophobic Shield just kicked in, right? Which will basically block all the incoming damage from other elements. So that's definitely gonna help out my monsters. I can do, for example, Megasun and stuff like that, but there's that dodge area monster. But how about we remove 30% of total life from that monster 3 times since it's taking all the incoming damage? Look at that. And then we'll just have to eliminate it. That monster is forced to charge up because of the light shield. We can definitely eliminate you. And then with this monster, I can just go ahead and, for example, single target attack Voltake, and now it's just Slumster that's remaining. And so this only PERs once, right? But look, there's positive effect protection with evasion. If you want to get rid of that, this skill right here is best. So you can basically PER, not twice because there's dodge area. If that dodge area wasn't there, you could have definitely PER twice. But that's gonna run out right after this, and sadly none of those skills really works out. I'm not sure if this really lands. No, I don't think it will. Only the electrified will probably land, right? Only electrified, yep. Single target, yep, we can do single target. Spirit of Destiny kicked in, dealt the extra damage. Health June kicked in as well. But we're gonna do triple damage over to my monster, take a juice. So sadly the ultimate can't really affect that dodge area monster. Nope, it can't. We can definitely get rid of that do this for fun, even though I already had it, and GG's. Alright, so what I wanted to do was basically switch one of the monster skill here with what's it called, the enlightenment one. So basically this gives the inspiration to everybody. I tested it in the adventure map right now, and apparently it gives the inspiration to everybody, which is really nice, and it comes with NER as well. So definitely a good skill, I've got to say. I definitely choose this over the single target one, unless you just want to give inspiration to for example, one of your monsters. If that's a play, sure, that works out. But I think what I'll do is actually give this monster a different talent. So I could go back to Purgatory Throne instead of the Demonic Pact, and or actually the Death Countdown isn't really a bad idea either. So this Inspiration Cloak, or Ancient Cloak, that's what it's called, we can actually remove that and go with the Death Countdown here if you wanted to. And that way, because we're gonna cleanse everything and also give it inspiration. But the only issue here is that the inspiration applies first before NER. So basically, if you end up getting nanovirus, the inspiration won't really apply, if that makes sense. So we're gonna give this a try and see how it goes. Alright, so here we're on PvP. This monster has face shields. There's also Spirit of Destiny on the tank, and I'm not sure what that is. I think it was the random torture. Okay, that really sucks. But the good thing is that we didn't get nanovirus or anything like that. So in the beginning, you can go ahead and basically give it inspiration and cleanse everything. So as you guys see, I'm gonna give it inspiration to everybody and also cleanse. So as you guys see, this monster has inspiration. What I can do is give an extra turn to whoever I want. For example, let's say the tank. I give it an extra turn. But the... what? I'm confused. Is that bugged? Why didn't it give... did they change it? No. Why didn't it give an extra turn to all my monsters? They had inspiration. And now I'm going to lose this battle because of that. So unless I'm missing something, or that was just the game's fault, maybe it's bugged. But basically, if you end up giving inspiration to everybody with this monster, I'm not sure if it's the talent as well. But basically, when you trigger this skill right here, which gives the extra turn to one enemy, while you have basically inspiration on your side, it won't really trigger your inspiration, if that makes sense. Before it used to, but now I guess it doesn't. I'm not sure. You guys can let me know in the comments down below. Maybe I missed something out. But it was supposed to basically give an extra turn to everybody because they all had inspiration. Like all my monsters had inspiration on the side. So I'm not sure what really happened there. But man, that really sucks. So I guess we can't really use a setup. So we can go with the original setup that we had. Basically what we had before. So what we can do is basically cleanse everything here near the beginning and just apply the inspiration. The inspiration doesn't really matter. We just want to cleanse everything because, of course, all those tortures will definitely kill me. Another thing is that we can actually go with this skill as well, but what are we really cleansing? There's a Megaton trait there on the enemy side, you know what I mean? So I'm going to go ahead and cleanse everything here and I guess go with the inspiration just for fun. We don't really need the inspiration, but it's there. Then we can do this triple damage. So we took a lot of damage. My monster died, but it came back. Our team is really vulnerable right now. I have no Megaton, none of that. So we can eliminate one of the attackers. Who should we eliminate? Let's see. This one has Holy Fest, 2 strength. This one has triple speed. Okay, this one's a big threat, so we can definitely get rid of the Hydrorean first. That monster... oh, Knights. The light shield kicked in, and he can't really affect me now. Never mind, the talent. Yeah, yikes. Triple damage back if I can, but yeah, it won't really work out. That really sucks, man. I'm not sure what's up with the triple inspiration team that I ran before this. I'm still confused about that because that would have been a pretty nice team. Alright, so sadly that triple inspiration doesn't really work out, or maybe I did something wrong. You guys can let me know in the comments down below. But there goes the level 132 Galvanus review. Once again, you can pick this monster up right now from Bounty Hunt, free to play, and all you have to do is just grind a little bit, you know what I mean? But let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about this monster and whether you think it's going to be meta or not. But I hope this video proved to you guys that this monster is definitely going to be meta. But I feel like that AAA inspiration team kind of bugged. It was supposed to work the way I wanted it to, but sadly it didn't. I'm not sure why. But anyways, thank you all so much for watching today's video. If you guys did enjoy it, drop a like, subscribe to the channel with Keystone, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.